Hey all, this is the Twin Rivers Music Scene podcast with your host Madison
and Reed. We're here to highlight local and upcoming musicians in and around New Braunfels, Texas.
We believe the Texas and Americana music scene is what truly makes this town special, and we are so excited to provide a platform for y'all to hear straight from the artists themselves.
We hope y'all enjoy the Twin Rivers Music Scene podcast and stay tuned for more interviews posted every other Friday.
No venue too far, any song at every bar, here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.
This next artist is a singer-songwriter and guitarist who has been a cornerstone of Texas music for over 3 decades. He blends rockabilly, country, punk, and Americana, helping to redefine the Texas roots sound while cultivating one of the most loyal fan bases in the region. From a Billboard cover story to international tours and iconic residencies, his career is a testament to independent artistry, powerful live performance, and the enduring spirit of Texas music. Twin Rivers Music Scene is excited to welcome Kevin Geil of 2 Tons of Steel to the podcast.
Wow, that was something.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know what to say.
Well,
Sounds like I've been busy.
You have been, in a good way.
Yeah, it has been a good
Well, thanks
way.
for joining us today.
Yeah,
How have
pleasure.
you been lately? What have you been up to?
Just, on the road, it seems like. I-35 is always a joy.
Yeah.
So we were just in Plano, and that's just, you just pray every time you get on I-35.
Honestly, so true. I have to drive that 35 every day to work, and I'm just like, here we go. What are we going to see today?
Yeah, what's going to happen? So anyway, band's doing good, life's good, and, getting ready to head over to Spain for a festival and come back, and, we're just on the road all the time. It's good.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Spain.
It's good.
Have you
Spain.
played that festival before?
No, I've never played that one before.
Okay.
So it's on the coast, in South Spain, right on the beach, and yeah, it's supposed to be beautiful in the 60s, and it's a sold out festival, and yeah, so it'd be fun.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's good.
So we recently hung out with you in the studio when you are recording your new single Smile at Beagle's Nest, which we're in like the house studio right now filming
Yes,
it.
it's cool.
So what is the inspiration behind that song, releasing it? Because the lyrics are super catchy. Like we've been listening to it ever since. What kind of inspired the story behind that song?
It really started, my youngest daughter, her boyfriend broke up with her, sorry. And the way he did it, he was smiling, he had this kind of that shit-eating smile,
Yeah.
You're going to be okay. You'll be okay.
Ooh, I
So
hate that.
condescending.
So, and it just kind of grew from there. And it was a kind of a rainy day, and I just had my guitar and, wrote the lyrics probably over a year ago, and then just kind of sat on them, and then we decided to work on it, and yeah, now it's only been released to a couple stations, but it's doing well. It's doing real well. So
How does your daughter feel about the song?
she loves it.
Yeah.
She loves it. She loves most of the stuff that I write is always based around something we don't make stuff up. Like our saying in 2 Tons is, we don't write songs, we live them.
I
So
love that.
we just kind of go with the flow and write what's going on, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but
Yeah.
You
So
know.
obviously you've been in this business for a while. How do you think your songwriting has evolved after all these years?
I think it's just more, when you start off, you always want to write about, girls and getting drunk in cars and stuff like that. And then, as you grow, older or learn a little bit more, you learn that, you can really move people with lyrics instead of, beating them over the head and, rock and roll and saying the same old thing that everybody else will say. So I think that if you, take time and write songs when they're important, I think that at the end you get a bigger fan base.
Totally.
Because then people are like, oh, wait, this guy's got really something to say. He's not just a, just not a pretty face.
He's much more than that.
Got lots of talents. So do you think that has helped with like songwriting, since you kind of write more personal experience and like growing in all these like different stages of life with growing your fan base? Do you think that's kind of made y'all like successful all these years for staying true to yourselves?
Yeah, I think it's kept us, as close to relevant as we can be for a band that's been around for 30 years. Because there's a lot of good kids out there. I mean, they're really good, and they got it down. So, I think it really helps kind of keep us, relevant on the radio and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, y'all are still obviously very relevant in the New Braunfels scene, because y'all just celebrated your 30-year anniversary of 2 Tons of Steel at Gruene Hall, or was it 30?
Yeah, this coming summer will be 30 years, 2 Ton Tuesdays. Yeah.
That's amazing. And what's crazy is like the lines that line up outside of Gruene Hall to get in there. It's like
insane.
More than any other show we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so the fact that 29, 30 years later, y'all are having that turnout consistently every week is amazing.
Yeah.
What have you seen in the New Braunfels community come from that partnership with Gruene Hall and everyone that comes in does that with you on Tuesdays?
I mean, we started those in 96, and I become friends with Pat Molek, the founder of Green, and he gave us a chance to open up for a Sleep at the Wheel when I was just starting, and he kind of liked the band. He's like, hey, you want to do a Tuesday during the summer, do every Tuesday. So it was for free, it was free, and play behind the bar, and then it started to catch on. The Tuesdays did, and then before you knew it, we were doing 11 weeks during the summer, doing the whole summer. And then we've been on the main stage, I guess, for probably 15 years at least, maybe 20 years. I don't know, a long time. And so, the crowds have come, in waves, and then they kind of settle down. And then, but yeah, right now we're experiencing the biggest crowds in the history of 2 Ton Tuesdays, which is insane. I mean, we're pushing a little over 300,000 people that have been to 2 Ton Tuesdays.
That's crazy.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy. I just think it's so cool, because it's like, you would think because y'all been doing it so many years that it would maybe like die down, since it's like this long residency, but it's not. It's literally packed every Tuesday that y'all have it. It's wild.
It's all, it's thanks to the kids and the families and stuff. My wife and I were just, not just, but, at Wurstfest. And I'm just, walking around. A guy comes up and says, hey, are you Kevin with 2 Tons? I said, yeah. He said, man, I just want to let you know, I met my wife at Green, but I was only 16, and when my parents first started taking us there, and then we would go, and now our kids, we drop our kids off, and we want them to experience what we got to do, and so things like that are really, it's kind of touching. I was like, oh Lord, wow.
Yeah,
okay,
it's like a family affair for them.
It really is. It really is.
I was actually talking about 2 Ton Tuesdays with someone at work at Riley's the other day, and he's probably in his 70s or 80s, and he likes to go every time y'all have it. But it's funny, he's like, me and my friends, because we're all older, we'll just skip the line. Like, we'll cut in front of all the teenagers and be like, oh, we're going to just like get in line, because none of them will say anything to them. And I was like, that's honestly so smart. No teenager is going to be like, hey, get in the back of the line.
Hey,
so
old
they've
man.
got that down.
Yeah.
So with 2 Tons of Steel, I did read that before it was called 2 Tons of Steel, y'all were called the Dead Crickets.
The Dead Crickets.
Okay,
yes.
so how did that name originate? And then how did y'all kind of develop into 2 Tons of Steel?
Well, yeah. All right, quick story. So I just started the band, and we were just, playing in San Antonio, and we were trying to figure out a name, and it was at this place called Beckley's was the name of this. And it was a house just like this, You'd set up in one room, but it was a happening place. I mean, it was cool. It was so cool. We were trying to figure out a name for the band. We had all these names. It's like, nah, that sucks. That's no good. And this girl, I think she was a bartender actually, walked in that we knew, and she was on crutches, and she had a cast on her leg. We're like, what happened to you? And she said, I don't want to tell you. I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, well, it's like, anyway, she was, it was like in November when all the crickets are out, right? Mm-hmm. And she was trying to kill them because they're making so much damn noise, is what she said. And she stepped on one and slipped down the stairs and ended up breaking her ankle. So they're like, that's a dead cricket right there. So
yeah.
And then so the name just stuck.
That's so funny.
and it stuck so well for several years until we were on the cover of Billboard magazine. Mm-hmm. Dead crickets draw huge crowds in San Antonio. Rockabilly band. So unfortunately that caught the eye of a guy named Jerry Allison. And Jerry Allison was Buddy Holly's drummer. And Jerry had the rights to the name the Crickets. And so we got this phone call from this big ass Dallas attorney saying, hey, Kevin, you can't use that name. That name, you can't use the Dead Crickets. That's copyright infringement on the Crickets. And I'm like, well, we're the Dead Crickets. Yeah. We're not Buddy Holly and the Crickets. And so we had a talk and everything was good. And I actually talked to Jerry Allison on the phone. And I said, look, we're just a little band in San Antonio. We've never even left St. Mary's Street, I said, you don't have anything to worry about. And so we had a gentleman's agreement that if we started to leave the city that we would have to change the name. And then things started working out even more in our favor. And then I got this cease and desist letter, very official. You must cease using this name immediately. And I was like, oh God, come
That's
on, man.
Cool, though. That's mean you're like, okay, like we're making a name for ourselves right here.
Yeah. So luckily, or how fate would have it is, we had a sponsorship with Shinerbach beer, and they were using the song that I wrote about my '56 Cadillac Coupe de Ville called 2 Tons of Steel. And it was on the radio, and we had to change the name literally overnight. So it was my wife's idea. She said, why don't you just go with 2 Tons of Steel? Yeah. And I'm like, it's kind of hard to say, and it's kind of long, but okay. So that's how we ended up with 2 Tons of Steel.
Do you remember like what year that was?
Geez, that would have been 90. So we started, it would have been 90, probably 97, 98.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah, because we were, when we first started the Tuesdays, they weren't called 2 Ton Tuesdays. Actually, Travis, one of the managers there, is the guy that coined the phrase 2 Ton Tuesdays, because it would just, I don't even know what it would be called.
I know, it's like perfect. It's like the perfect name.
So so that's how we ended up, with the name and the 2 Ton Tuesdays, just kind of like that.
Were you sad to let the Dead Crickets go?
Yeah, I mean, I still have people who show up every once in a while in a Dead Cricket T-shirt.
That's cool.
Or a guy actually brought me one.
Really?
He's like, man, I want you to have this, and I've got the my father had the Billboard magazine thing framed. It says Dead Crickets draw huge. So I've got that. But
that's cool.
Yeah, they're cool. It's cool.
So from Dead Crickets to 2 Tons of Steel, what members of your band are like from the original band, and like how have they swapped out over the years?
Well, that would be me.
Yeah.
No, and I've had, in 30 years, I've only had 3 reincarnations.
Okay.
Of the band, and I'm still friends with the majority of the guys, and some of them have passed away, unfortunately, but who's ever with me, they're with me until they don't want to be, or something happens, and a lot of times, when you're on the road. And you have maybe other commitments, or family comes, if a family starts or something, and you just can't do it. I mean, but you got to keep going. So, yeah. I mean, but we're all good friends pretty much, and you just kind of go with the flow.
Mm-hmm. How was that Billboard article about y'all? How did that's so cool that y'all got written about in Billboard. And I mean, I know y'all have had several accomplishments, playing at the Opry. What's been your favorite accomplishment after all these years that you're that was such a surreal moment?
Well, I mean, the 2 Ton Tuesdays are,
Yeah.
they're pretty surreal every time. Because, every time I pull up, I'm like, this can't happen again. Can it? And at 5 o'clock, the line's already starting. But, anything that even just little clubs, sometimes will surprise you. You know, you go to a new place and you're like, you know, I don't know how this is going to work out. And it turns out to be just a great night. So, I mean, I kind of live for the next show.
Yeah.
You know, and always try to be ready, you know, for it, or work at a set, we know that kind of stuff. But it's the exciting part is the next show, because you never know when there won't be a next show.
Wow.
Okay.
It's sad if there's no more 2 tons.
I know.
Right. I'll be like, oh my God, what are we going to do?
That won't happen today.
No.
So going back to kind of the beginning of the conversation with your new single, Smile, do you have a date that you're releasing it onto streaming platforms, or is that still to be decided?
Yeah, I think it's going to be when we get back from Spain mid-February, because we're getting ready to shoot a video, and they're putting together all the little scenes and stuff, I guess you call them. And they've shot some B-roll and stuff, so that's pretty much been the holdup. And, you know, during Christmas and stuff, you can't get anything done. So,
Yeah.
and now it's January.
Yeah.
And y'all recorded it here at Beagle's Nest Studios. What goes into the decision whenever you decide on where to record a song at?
Well, I mean, we know Matt and Zach and Randy, and they were like, hey, come record here. And it's like, you know, okay. But we've always had our producer, and his name is Lloyd Maines. And Lloyd is, you know, pretty much the godfather of Texas music. I mean, he produced every pretty much song that you know of Texas music, Lloyd was involved in. And Lloyd is Natalie Maines' dad from the Dix Chicks. So he won a Grammy. He's the nicest guy in the world. I mean, the most talented guy you could ever meet. And, you know, he helped with every album, but he wasn't available. So I was kind of a little nervous, like, well, I guess I'll go in, and I learned enough tricks from Lloyd. So, so that's how we ended up here, and it's a great studio. I'd recommend it, you know, to anybody that wants to in New Braunfels come by, and you know, they got a great thing going on here. It's really cool, and it's real comfortable.
Yeah, it was really cool to witness that day that we sat in and watched y'all record, the feedback that your team was giving you, because you were doing the vocals that day, and it was really cool to hear all their minds come together, including yours, and like to build it throughout the day. It was really awesome to witness.
Yeah, that was something. I was like, you know what? Shut up, guys.
And you're like, it was honestly really cool, like the creative process, kind of like Reed said, like what all goes into it. What advice would you give, like with working with people, for people that are young and coming through this industry? What advice would you give them when they're, you know, trying to pick people to work with, and band members and managers and kind of stuff like that?
You know, I mean, Taz is a really good friend of mine, and I've known him since he started coming out to Two Ton Tuesday. I think he was like 12. He was like 4 feet tall.
And now he's like this tall, very tall.
I was like 15. He's like 6'2". It's
Yeah.
like, dude, what the hell? She good looking, talented, young. It's like, God, I have no chance in hell.
Triple threat.
There's no chance in hell. I can't even match that stuff. So, but you know, I told him, he used to call it a gig. It's like, oh, I got this gig. And I'm like, listen, if you, the first thing that you can do to help yourself, don't look at it as a gig, because a gig is just something you go and do and you come home.
Like a job.
So you need to look at it as a show. Every time you step on stage, it's a show. People are there to see you. You have to be aware of that, you know, aware of your appearance, aware of the songs that you sing. You know, you might love a song, but maybe your voice isn't cut out for it. You have to know the difference if you want to create your own sound. And he was doing a lot of covers at the time, and everybody still does, you know, covers. But and I told him, I said, you know, you need to focus writing your songs, even if it's a silly little song. Sometimes people will love it because it came from you, and it helps people connect. It's like, oh, I like that guy, instead of being a puppet on a string.
Yeah.
You know, so those are the 2 things I would say to start with.
That's
you know,
really good advice.
focus on what you want to do, and pull from the people that inspired you, of course. but don't emulate them. Don't dress like them. Don't sound like them.
Right.
Just say, wow, you know, this guy did this, and well, I can do that. Maybe I change it a little bit, and then, you know, you just kind of grow. You just got to grow.
Yeah. Well, you do a great job with your stage presence. When we go to the 2 Tons of Steel, lots of energy. Like, you really get the crowd moving. How do you get ready for, like, the shows?
I don't know.
Just walk
I have
up.
no clue. I have no clue.
Do some stretches?
Yeah, do some stretches. Yeah. Go over to Mosey's for a little bit.
That's a great pregame spot.
Yeah, pregame ritual.
Yes.
No, it's just, you know, it just, even after all these years, I mean, I still love doing it. It's still fun. I still look forward. I look forward to it. It's still fun. So, you know, that's pretty much the preparation that I have.
Everybody go to Mosey's.
Before the show, that's where he'll be.
Everyone go to Mosey's, but leave 2 spots for us.
Yeah.
At the bar. That's funny. So over the years, what bucket list venues have you played, and do you still have some that you look forward to playing?
I mean, golly, I don't even know.
Opry probably is one of them.
Yeah, I mean the Opry, you know, these festivals that we do, you know, around the world. They're just, it's just at this time, you know, we played with pretty much every legend that there is. I think we're just kind of, you know, the next big thing. I don't know what it is. I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I keep my eye out for it. It's like, is that it? No, that's not it. Let's go. But yeah, it's one of those things. You never know what's going to happen. But
what artists have like inspired you, either like now or maybe when you first started, that you've looked up to?
I mean, Elvis is where I started.
I could see that.
Yeah.
With
because
like how you move
presence.
on stage.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, so I grew up in the, you know, like in the 80s kind of thing, and so the, you know, the big hair metal bands, you know, Motley Crue, and you know, all that stuff was going on, and I had a guitar, an acoustic guitar, and it's like, I can't play that, I can't play like that, but I got 3 chords, and Elvis started with 3 chords in a 3-piece band, so that's kind of where I started. And then I grew, you know, I really got into like, you know, Chris Isaak sound, and you know, today I like a band called Lord Hurin, which is a really cool band. But other than that, I don't really have anybody like I'm want to be like or any.
Yeah.
But I like listening to good players for sure.
A lot of articles we read about y'all's band was that y'all were kind of the spear point of rockabilly in San Antonio when y'all got started. I'd love to know how you would define the term rockabilly as a music genre.
Jeez.
Or if there, I know it's like very fluid, but what are some words that come to you when you think of it?
I mean, you know, a powerful, you know, moving. You know, it was punk rock before punk rock was punk rock, and I don't know if there would have been punk rock if it wasn't for rockabilly. Because if you look back in the day, I mean, the guys were doing this stuff were like, you know, y'all couldn't even listen to them. You know, your parents would lock you up.
Yeah.
you wouldn't even know who they were because they were it was on the edge. It was on the edge. They were doing shit. Nobody. People are like, you know, oh my God, you can't say that. You can't move like that. You know, and if you ever, you know, like the Elvis movie that just came out with. What was his name? Austin
Butler.
Yeah. You know, they really captured what was going on because, you know, you weren't allowed to do that kind of stuff. And for him to continue to do it and, you know, the flack that some artists take now, that was nothing compared to what they were going through because you had the whole Bible Belt, huge, saying, you know, you can't do that. No, we're shutting you down. And so it probably just a rebelliousness of what is rockabilly, and it's I mean it's its own thing. It's not like a, you know, people would say it's old music, but it's really not because I mean you can go out, listen to some of the stuff today. And if you really listen to it, it's got a rockabilly beat, and that's what makes it so badass.
So true.
Yeah.
Speaking of just like when you're talking about like rebellious and like kind of how that's like evolved in the music industry and like career, how that's like kind of, you know, people are crazy now when they're songwriting and stuff. But what other like trends or just in the music industry has like, have you seen like really evolved or changed throughout your career in music, like that you've seen?
Oh, I mean, for me, country music has just like changed beyond words. You know, because I knew some of the guys that were starting up, you know, coming out, and back then it was like, yeah, I don't think that shit's any good. And then they went on to be, you know, huge, and now, you know, it's a totally different, you know, the bro country, you know, thing is really popular. So I mean, I'm old school when it comes to that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know?
That's why I feel like they have like Nashville country, they call it now, and like Texas country, but even sometimes, and then we have like rock. But it is crazy because with the whole rockabilly, I don't really hear that term anymore. And
No,
you're right. Like I feel like there are some bands that are rockabilly, but that term and how you describe music isn't really a thing anymore.
Yeah. I feel like people, like you said, think of it as like the 50s, 60s kind of vibe, which I love that y'all are keeping it alive and like kind of showing people that, yes, this is still very prevalent now. I wonder, because y'all tour internationally, how people overseas view y'all's type of music.
Yeah, I mean, they, you know, if you're from Texas and you're the real deal, they think you're God. You know?
I bet you love going over there and they're like, oh my God, he's here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the festival that we're going to do in a couple of weeks, it's a rockabilly festival, you know. Everybody's going to be rockabillyed out and do their rockabilly hair and their rockabilly clothes and their rockabilly shoes. And it's cool. It's cool, you know. They got the car show going on and a ton of great bands, and, you know. But, you know, it's us in Los Lobos, which is, you know, an incredible band. And Los Lobos did the soundtrack for La Bamba, which is like 40 years ago.
Okay.
And but they're incredible. But, you know, if you're from Texas and you're the real deal, I think you're something.
That's
so
true.
We like to go over there.
Yeah. You definitely take your hat and your boots.
Yeah, stick out. What's been the craziest like fan interaction that you've had?
Oh, stalkers. Maybe.
Really? How many have you had?
A couple.
I believe it.
A couple over the years. But yeah. I mean, most people are, you know, most people just want to, you know, tell you their story about, you know, how, you know, when they saw you and how, you know, how much they love you and how much, you know, your song, you know, meant to them. I mean, one of the songs off of the Gone CD was a song called Gone, and it's about losing somebody, and it got on the radio, but I got, you know, letters from people that were dealing with, you know, their child committed suicide, and it was, you know, that song like really spoke to them, and it's stuff like that. That's, you know, that's the best interaction you can ever have as an artist or songwriter, to have somebody actually take time and say, you know what, wow, you saved me right there.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It's very special. So in addition to y'all's single Smile coming out, do you have, in the festival that you're about to go play, do you have anything else that you want people to know that y'all have going on?
I mean, we're always somewhere, you know, we're always going somewhere. Who knows? Check out the website. Check out the website and find out, you know, I mean, kicking off 30 years 2 Ton Tuesday is going to be big, you know, that should be a big thing. And, you know, we go back to France in July, and, you know, hopefully, in a couple of months we'll work on a new single and get something out about every 4 months, I think is what. Okay. Putting a single out. We're not, the album thing is just not in it for us anymore. You know, I've done 13 albums, and the way music is now, you just, I mean, it's great to put out, but I think for us, putting a single out every 4 months would work better.
Yeah, I think that's great. I've actually heard from a lot of artists that the single game is kind of more beneficial than rather like this whole album or project or like an EP, just kind of like putting out singles, I feel like has been kind of a recent trend that people have been doing.
Yeah.
More.
I mean, it is, because we started seeing it, you know, I mean, probably right before COVID hit. You know, you could tell the trend of like trying to move CDs at a show. started to really slow down because, I mean, if you have a newer car, you don't even have a CD player, and two, you don't even know what a CD is. CD is. But I've got my handful of CDs, and I've saved. I don't even have one of every.
Really?
I don't even have. Somehow,
we need to go find one.
Somehow along the way they got misplaced or something. I don't know. But
of your 13 albums, do you have one that means the absolute most to you?
I mean, the first one always.
Yeah.
The first one is always, and then the last one, Gone, was a really good. It's just a really good CD. I mean, it was just really good. It was really good. But I mean, they're all special. But some of them, things are going on. You're like, yeah, let's try this. That's gonna be badass. And then a couple years later, it's like, oh God, why are you playing that? Oh, no, I can't take this. Turn it off.
Like cringed at yourself.
It's like, oh God, what was I thinking? But I think that happens to a lot of.
Yeah, you're experimenting with different stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why having a good producer like Lloyd keeps you, from doing the crazy stuff.
Yeah. Is there a song that like stands out to you, whether it's like the most cringiest one that you're like, I can never play this live anymore, or in the opposite that you like still love playing?
I mean, Vegas Vegas. We play that every night, and Crying Eyes, and it's On the Road for My Wife. We play those every night. But yeah, there's a couple songs that I don't even remember the name of them. But I know.
Did I write this?
Yeah. Yeah, somebody come up and ask or put a piece of paper, and it's like, what?
That's hilarious.
You wrote it. I'm like, oh.
You're like,
Yeah, we don't play that one no more.
Forgot about that.
like, try again. Next.
We're good. Yeah, we're good with that one. We're good.
For those who haven't been to a Two Tons of Steel show, or even have, like, what's one thing that you want the audience to take from going to one of y'all shows?
Just forget life for a while.
Kind of unplug.
Yeah, just come and have fun, man. Sing along and chant the 2-ton chant and do the 2-ton dance, and your life will be happier.
So true, honestly. When I went, I was like, wow, this is like euphoric.
Yeah.
It really is. Everyone's dancing. Everyone's having a great time. It is so fun to go to 210 Tuesdays.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it's weird because at Green, everyone's dancing, and then we'll play a listening room, and everyone is listening.
Yeah.
It's a weird, it's a weird kind of thing. Yeah, so.
With the difference of like shows and festivals, do you like them equally? Do you like playing festivals rather than shows, or is it just kind of like different? Like, what would you say?
I mean, festivals are cool because you're around all these other bands, and you kind of, you kind of have to bring your A. I mean, you bring your A game all the time, but when you just heard this kick-ass band and you're like, oh shit,
My turn.
I don't want to follow that. I think I had the laryngitis. But yeah, festivals are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But going to, just even like a listening room is really, it's a different kind of feeling. But, as long as you walk away feeling like you did a good job and, the show was good and that you connected with the crowd, because some nights you can work your ass off and they're just like, what?
What is that feeling like? Like when you're trying to connect to the audience and in some ways like the setting's just not happening in that moment?
No, it sucks.
Is it like awkward or
it's very awkward. It's like, what, do I have something on my face? What is wrong with you people? Yeah, and then you usually don't go back there.
Yeah, you're like, okay, noted.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Not going back. But that doesn't happen very often. But it does, and it happens. We've been at shows with big time headliners, and there's sometimes it just the stars just don't light up. You know?
Then on the other end of that, when you have moments at Gruene Hall where everyone's dancing, everyone's having a great time, I bet that connection with the audience is such a surreal experience. And that's probably why music is so addicting and like playing shows is so addicting, because you have that high of like, this is just genuine human connection with all these people in the crowd sharing my music.
Yeah, no, that's why you do it. Because if you did the other one for very long,
you'd be done.
I'd be like,
That'd probably be
hi, welcome to Walmart.
like, like maybe we should hang up our
Enjoy your day.
Yeah.
Produce is on aisle 3. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you live for those. And most of them are like that.
Yes, of course.
And especially when you're young, you don't even care about that. You
Yeah.
just want to play.
Yeah, you're probably just happy to be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. It's a joy.
What's been the hardest and easiest thing about kind of keeping a band going for 3 decades?
I mean, the hardest thing is to keep the work because there's a saying, it's a lot easier to get gigs with a band than it is to get a band with gigs or something like that. Maybe I said it wrong. I probably did.
No, that makes sense.
But if you're working consistently and you have you have good shows, it's a lot easier to keep a band together, especially if you can make a living off of it.
Right.
If it's a sideline thing and they're like, I don't know if I want to do this and I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, it makes it really hard to get any momentum going because you got a different guy every time, and then that's being a singer-songwriter. I mean, you could do it by yourself, but having a band is good. But and then the easiest thing is just finding guys that want to have a good time. And I mean, I have a great group of guys, and we have a good time. There's never been an argument or anything. We're on the same page, and it makes it easy, makes it nice.
Mm-hmm. It's important to find good people.
Yeah.
It's not the,
It's like number one.
not the easiest thing.
Yeah.
So when you do find somebody, you have to treat them with respect.
Right.
You have to realize that there are things going on in their lives, and over time you learn how to deal. You learn how to deal with people, and it make them stick around.
Of course. So where can people follow you on Instagram and Facebook, and what is y'all's website so they can stay up to date with what y'all got going?
Yeah, the website's twotons.com, TWOTONS, and then Instagram 2 Tons of Steel and Facebook 2 Tons of Steel.
Do y'all do TikTok?
Yeah. I haven't done TikTok yet.
Ooh,
Okay.
I heard that this TikTok thing's really popular.
It is.
So no, I'm kidding.
We'll keep an eye out for you on there.
You should be on it
I
with your
should.
moves.
Oh yeah,
Your dances.
True.
I'm gonna start filming those.
Honestly, we'll film them for you.
You're
Yeah.
okay.
Rockabilly revival. That could be a good thing.
Yeah,
That could be the
yeah.
series, like bringing back rockabilly.
Yeah, it's
I love
We
it.
just started something there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank y'all for having us, or me, or the band. Really, I'm just one of 4. So
No, I know, but it's been great, and I love hearing all your stories and stuff.
Thanks.
So thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
And again, this has been the Twin Rivers Music Scene Podcast with your hosts, Madison and Reed, and our guest, Kevin from 2 Tons of Steel.
Yay.
Go stream and go to 2 Tons of Steel. We'll see you there.
See you.
Bye.
'Cause I'm still standing in the rain, in the thunder. My phone's blowing up, but I can't stay sober. But I'm doing it with a smile. I'm doing it with a smile. Yeah, I'm doing it in style. But I don't wanna be your friend. I don't wanna be a friend. I wanna be your man again. Please don't let this end.